All right, welcome back to the channel. Now, nobody wants to go missing. Going missing is definitely not a good thing. And today I found this video called "Who Are These Unidentified People?" So I guess it's going to be people that went missing that were never found. And I always find that really scary, like when they make a picture of like what someone's supposed to look like. What if they're totally wrong and that person looks totally different? Or like what if they're just dead? Like a lot of people that are just missing are probably dead. Or like what if they went missing but like they are still living in society today? Like it's super weird. But yeah, let's check out this video. Who are these unidentified people?
It's
And I
a
hope
cool
you guys are having a good day.
morning in the desert of Arizona. It's a cool morning in the desert of Arizona. As the sun begins to crack the surface of the earth, a group of hunters camping just east of Pima Road begin to wake. And this group of hunters are on their second day of a weekend-long trip. For them, it's just a casual outing, another way to kick back and relax after the long week. So, with the full day ahead of them, they grab their necessities from the campsite and begin their trek to the hunting spot. At some point while they were walking, one of the hunters notices a large fallen cactus, and for an unknown reason, it piqued his interest. The group walks over to it to get a closer look, and upon observing the cactus from up close, they realize something strange was poking out from under it, so they decide to lift it.
What was a body under?
And what they would discover under it was one of the most disturbing sights any of them have ever witnessed. It was a human skull. Upon seeing this, the police were instantly called.
A skull underneath a cactus?
Today, nobody has been able to link this skull to a specific individual. However, there is a bit more information about this case than what I have already stated. So, let's piece some of this together. To begin,
Well, we do know it.
this is the disturbing police
We do know it was somebody. That is disturbing. I don't like that picture. That makes me feel weird. I'm not gonna look
sketch
at
to
that.
go with the case. It's a
That is scary.
female. A disturbing police sketch to go with the case. It's a female.
That's who they think it might. That's what they think it might have looked like. Doesn't every skull look like that? Wouldn't my skull look just like that? And you're gonna say that's a, I guess a female and female skull would look different, right? Maybe. I don't know.
Let's piece some of this.
Or actually, let me research that. Okay, so this is a male and female skull. So it looks a tiny bit different. I'm not fully sure. I'm guessing this is the male and this is the female. Females have like a taller one. Taller kind of. Yeah. I think I got it, right? I don't know. I'm not a bone scientist. Male skull, female skull. They look the same. Huh, I don't know. I guess everyone's skull is just different.
This is the disturbing police sketch to go with the case. It's a female. A Jane Doe. This sketch is a representation of what she could have possibly looked like, that was drawn using the shape of her skull. Accuracy of these facial reconstructions often vary, so do keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She might have not looked like that at all.
Something else to note about this case is that a jawbone was found around the same area just 8 months prior to the incident.
Oh, it was definitely hers.
This was eventually linked back to the same case, so whoever this was had been dead for quite some time. Unfortunately, this case isn't as easy as asking around town if anyone knows this woman, because upon finding her remains, all that was left was bone. No recognizable face, just bone. This all happened way back in 1982, and over the course of the past 42 years, there has only ever been one theory of who this woman could be, and that is the Henry Lee Lucas theory. Henry Lucas, also known as the Confession Killer, murdered presumably 4 people. Among those 4 was a woman named Deborah Mackey. Deborah's decapitated body was found in Plainview, Texas. While this may be a stretch, the skull found in Scottsdale, Arizona, and Deborah's body may be one of the same. What really accentuated this theory was a pathologist named Ralph Erdman, who claimed, "I am 95% certain the Scottsdale victim and Mackey are the same."
All right, well, let's just take that and roll with it.
However, the belief that the
He's a pathologist, so he would know.
Jane Doe had just been identified crumbled shortly after Ralph was charged with tampering and perjury from falsifying information about the autopsy.
Oh.
To this day, there are no leads on this case, and most perplexing is that her cause of death is still unknown.
Well, some things in history just go. There are a lot of people who've died throughout history that will just never.
Could she have been murdered in cold blood? Maybe. Could she have died from lack of hydration out in the deserts? Well,
yeah, possibly. But why is her head just there? Her full body would be intact, or her bones would be at least under the sand. It's just her head.
that's a possibility too. Maybe she even could have succumbed to the bitter cold of the desert nights.
Yeah, but why is she missing the rest of her body?
Regardless, one thing is for certain. Whoever this unfortunate woman was will always be remembered as the Scottsdale Jane Doe.
Jane Doe. Real specific.
The year is 1952. A man named Charles Damith is on a hunting trip in the deep woods just outside of Blackhawk, Colorado. He is completely alone. Just him and the wilderness. At this point, Charles had made his way deep into the forest. He is roughly around here on the map. And in this area, he would discover something that would change the course of his life forever. In a gravelly area under a burnt log was the charred remains of a human body. A bonfire was built on top of the body to then be lit on fire, subsequently eliminating all evidence, all possibility to be caught, and the victim's identity. This is the case of the
Blackhawk Jane Doe.
To begin, various different items were found on her body. These items included a bloody stick that was most likely the weapon used in the murder, a small electric razor, cloth from a turquoise-colored blouse, a purse, a sole of one shoe, 3 empty lipstick containers, a ring, a Denver tramway token, 2 pieces of a broken handbag mirror, 3 safety pins, a rhinestone necklace, and finally an unbroken mirror. Now, onto the body. It was a female, around 5'1" to 5'5" in height. She was suspected to be around ages 17 to 30, and the post-mortem interval was around 20-ish days. With all this information, authorities believed that this was another cut-and-dry murder case. Another case where they find the perpetrator and lock him up for good. Oh, how wrong they were.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not what's gonna happen, is it?
Shortly after the body was found, facial reconstruction was conducted with the use of the victim's skull, and a model was sculpted. This is the final result.
Yes, I'm sure she looked like a caveman from the year of 20 BCE. I'm sure she looked just like that.
This is the
Whoever drew that was just trying to draw some uncanny stuff.
final results.
There's not a single human on this planet that looks like that.
With this creepy image,
Terrifying.
authorities now had a reference point to go off of.
A reference point? Nobody looks like that. Nobody looks like that. Not anymore. Yeah, primates would look like that. That's like an early human. I mean, look at the lips on it. What in the world? Look at the lips. Whoever drew that was just trying to draw something. Oh, I'm gonna mess around and draw something scary.
The following weeks, information about the case was spread via the newspaper. Yet, nobody came forward with any information on who this Jane Doe could be. It was almost as if this woman never existed. With the lack of leads on identifying the victim, authorities began trying to figure out who was behind the murder. The main suspect
Just blame some random person and get it over with.
that
Imagine that's how they did it. They can't find who did it. They just grab 3 random guys. All right, each of you pick a number, 1 to 10. Who's ever the first away is getting locked up. Someone has to suffer for this crime.
at the time was the man who was first to the scene, Charles Damith. The woman had been dead for around 20-ish days.
Well, Charles probably didn't do it because, yeah, like I said, like he just said, he wasn't there when she actually got killed, probably. And why would he report it if he was the one that did it? That makes no sense. It's like, does he want to get caught? You know?
And was hidden in a remote area in the woods. So it would make sense if Charles had a part in this murder based on how quickly he had found her.
I mean,
However,
if he was hunting in the middle of the woods, then the odds that you would run into a dead body, I mean, are really low because there probably aren't that many dead bodies in the woods. But I imagine if there was one, it wouldn't be that hard to run into.
counter-argument to this is, in the heat of the investigation, he was admitted to a polygraph test, in which the results of would prove inconclusive.
Yeah, he probably didn't do it. That's the odds. And if he did, then wow.
This doesn't fully clear his name though, but for the time being, suspicion around him gradually faded away, and no other promising suspect came to light. And today, this is where this mystery lies. It lies unsolved.
That is terrifying.
Who was the murderer? Was it Charles? Or was it someone who completely evaded suspicion?
Well, if it was Charles, he got away with it because Charles is probably dead too. 1952.
What was the motive behind the murder? Envy? Greed?
Both of them
Anger? Possibly. And the most important question of them all, and the whole reason I'm making this video. Who is the woman that was murdered all that time ago? Who is the pyre, Jane Doe?
I think she's a fake human. That picture does not do her justice. I guarantee if we could actually find out who she was, she looks nothing like that. Which, like, even the first guy, where am I at? 946. Even this lady.
Regardless,
Probably. I mean,
thing
this
is
one
for certain.
This one looks more like a human. This one just looks like some type of humanoid. Like this is uncanny because throughout human evolution we had to, fight humans that look like that. That's why it's maybe creepy to you, and it's in our nature to naturally like be spooked out because we don't know if that's one of us or one of them. So Homo sapiens. All right, next part. This video is really good. Whew. I like how he just went from talking about death to just some lo-fi hit. I gotta turn this off. That was a smooth beat. I'm guessing this is a sponsor, but God, this beat's crazy. I love that. Nice. Case 3.
It's another average day for security patrolling the Tokyo station. Stop all suspicious activities and, most importantly, make sure everything is in line. Out of the group of guards on shift, one of them is tasked as being the inspector of the group. The inspector has various duties he must do. One of these is he must inspect the coin lockers and clear them out of anything left behind. Early into the shift, around 9:40 a.m., the inspector begins his rounds on the coin lockers. He goes one by one,
What, does he
making
find
sure
a
they are
skull
all
in one of
clear.
them?
Around midway through his inspection, he finds a suitcase that someone had left behind in one of
Oh my God, there is a body in that suitcase, and it probably stinks.
the
too.
lockers. At the Tokyo station,
Smells
this
like a dead animal, or like if you guys ever smell like a rotten, if you ever had like a freezer, and then the power cuts out, and then you open it, and all the meat is just spoiled, and it smells like dead. It
happens
smells like
frequently.
Death.
Security have become accustomed to it at this point. So, just like every other forgotten suitcase, he wheels it over to the luggage recovery storage units and leaves it there for the owner to come by and pick it back up.
Oh, but it's been there for 8 months.
However, in this case, the owner would never come back to pick it up. Instead, the suitcase would remain inside the storage unit, untouched.
For how long? I know it smells terrible. It has to. God, this is real good animation, dude. This is really good animation.
A month passes. This marks the end of the luggage recovery process.
I think these type of YouTubers are one of the best things to happen to YouTube, like these documentary type, because this is normally something you would watch on TV, and now it's on YouTube, like free content, completely free. I think in the future you probably have to pay for, like YouTube will be like a TV service almost. This is like free content. You could just watch this. Bored, pull up a random YouTube channel that does like documentaries. It's crazy.
Usually around this time,
these guys.
security will open the lost bags and suitcases in hopes of finding information that will help them get it back to their respective owners. So, as protocol suggests, they open up the suitcase.
What's in it? A body?
Inside, they find the body of an elderly woman.
Really?
This is the case of the Tokyo
Elder? I thought it was a child or something.
station Jane Doe.
How does she fit in there?
It's been 9 years since this happened, and this woman has still yet to be identified. So, let's go over the case and some theories surrounding it. First, let me begin by showing you the victim's face reconstructed. At first, authorities believed that she had been murdered and left in the locker while the killer made his getaway. This, however, was quickly disproven.
Why don't you just roll back the cameras? Roll back the cameras to the last person that was in there and see who that was.
Because upon examining the body closer, they realized there was no apparent bruising or injuries. No gunshot wounds or stab wounds. Nothing. With this information, authorities ruled out murder as the cause of death.
Old age?
So, if she wasn't murdered, then how did she die? Well,
Internal bleeding?
people online speculate that she had died from natural causes and her family didn't have the money or time for a proper burial, so instead, they opted to put her in a suitcase and let somebody else deal with it. This theory can be supported by the fact that none of the victim's family members ever came forward out of fear of prosecution. Today,
Wow.
this is all we know about the case. Her identity, still unknown.
You're telling me there's
The person
nothing?
that did it, still unknown. And with each passing
Just
year,
I'm sure there's roll back the cameras. Roll back the cameras. Who is the last person to put her in there? find that person, interview them. Like, what are we doing? Do we just not care? Oh, just another woman in a suitcase. All right.
The case grows colder and colder. But maybe one day, a shred of evidence will be found. A clue that will lead us in a new direction to finally figuring out who this Jane Doe really is.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day it'll rain money so we all don't have to work. Right? Oh, this one's creepy.
Two elk bow hunters are hunting in the Colorado Flats. The section they are in is approximately 9,700 feet in elevation. They are somewhere around here on the map. These hunters mostly hunt elk, but an exception would be made when the pair would spot a bull across the field from them. Upon seeing it, they sneak up closer to possibly line up a shot. One of the hunters eventually gets close enough and sends an arrow right into the bull. Then, the bull begins to run. Deep into the forest he goes, with the hunters right on his trail. After tracking the bull down for a good while, the hunters stumble across an old worn-down campsite. At this point, they had fully lost the bull, so they decide to check it out.
It's not bleeding out or anything?
They first head over to the tent to open it up in hopes of finding some salvageable equipment. But instead, inside the tent, they find a body.
Oh.
A body that we know now as
Hello.
the Flat Tops Jane Doe.
Like, hey man, they peek in, they're like, hey man, your fire's still burning.
First, let's take a look at the items the man was found with. The man had binoculars, pepper spray, duct tape, sunglasses, boots, etc., etc., etc. But most importantly, among these items was a notebook. Most of the writings in this notebook are non-legible. However, people have managed to make out some sentences. One of the most interesting writings in this notebook reads, "I should write in case my situation here doesn't improve. This may be the end of my journey." And also on the same page, "Would like you to claim the body, services or memorial, cremation." And interestingly enough, all these messages seem to be written for someone named Lib.
Dear Lib.
People online speculate that this Lib person could have been someone he was on this journey with, given that he has duplicates of various items, such as cups and maps. And others believe that Lib is short for the name Elizabeth, and this Elizabeth he is referring to is a spouse or family member. Regardless, this Lib person still remains unidentified to this day. Now, let's turn our attention back to the Jane Doe. People online have found dozens of possible identities for him. But all of these guesses seem to fall just short of being correct. Except one. This is Mark Allen Husk. Missing person case 2842. He went missing in 2003, which was just a year before the doe was found.
Really?
His age when he went missing was 49, which fits the estimated age range of the doe. He was described to be extremely outdoorsy and would frequently travel the country alone, which connects these two cases together even more. But the most convincing evidence that this could be our guy is he has a relative with the first name Elizabeth, also known as Lib.
Oh yeah, that's 100% him.
This connection was discovered 4 years back, and since then, new updates have surfaced. In an email reply from Colorado authorities, they state that the DNA was tested, and unfortunately, it's not a match.
What? Really?
And just like that, the most promising lead on this case fell into the arms of despair.
Wow.
This case really stood out to me
That has got to be him. They gotta be lying.
because of its many loose ends. Like, how long was the man dead for? Who is Lib? Why did this man not try to seek
Is Lib alive?
refuge in a nearby town?
And
Why
the
are
biggest question, where did the bull go that they were shooting at? How was it still running, bleeding out?
the writings in the
bigger
notebook
question.
barely legible? The list goes on
That
and
means
on
there's a bull running around with an arrow in his butt.
and on.
Wow, this is a great
But
video.
the most important question that will linger in my mind until the day this case is solved is, if not Mark, then who could this be?
It's gotta be
Who
him.
is the man that perished at the hands of Mother Nature's harsh condition? Who is the Flat Tops
John Doe.
John Doe?
Wow, this is sad, scary, and also like I learned a lot from this. This is a great video, man. Wow, I'm so glad I watched this. Banger video. I'm gonna like that video. That's a great video. I love these documentary type videos. But yeah, man, those were really good. I think it had to be him. Like he had a relative named Elizabeth. He loved being outdoors. He would go outdoors alone. But also he had 2 cups. He had duplicates. So that might mean someone was with him. And who knows? They need to start searching for whoever was with him. I don't know. But yeah, that was a banger video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Going missing is definitely something scary. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy the video? And until next time, I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys don't go missing. But I hope you guys have a great night or a great day. And until next time, guys, peace out.